If you're a perfectionist at work, someone who double checks everything, replays conversation, or worries constantly about doing something, this isn't just a personality trait. In high pressure jobs, perfectionism is often a stress response, and it's driven by fear of mistakes or consequences or of letting people down. And over time, that kind of pressure can quietly lead to burnout. Perfectionism is often praised at work. You're reliable, you're conscientious, you care deeply, you're empathic. But what people don't see is what happens internally. Your mind is constantly scanning the risk. Your body is braced even when nothing is actively wrong. You're not just trying to do a good job, you're trying to prevent something bad from happening. And that keeps your nervous system in a near constant state of alert. And this often shows up as replaying emails before sending them, going over mistakes long after the day has finished, feeling responsible for outcomes that aren't really in your control or aren't fully in your control. From a healthcare point of view, going over everything you've done that day or every medication you've given to make sure that you've done it right. Over time, this can turn into anxiety, chronic stress, or obsessive thinking around getting things right. I spent 10 years working as a nurse in high-pressure clinical environments, and this is exactly how my perfectionism developed. The responsibility was real. The consequences of mistakes felt huge and were huge. I worked in intensive care. It was a hard place to work. My perfectionism wasn't about achievement. It was about fear and survival and fear of doing something wrong. Eventually, that constant pressure contributed to severe burnout and a significant decline in my mental health. I now look at this through a workplace well-being and HR lens, and I see the same pattern across many professions. I want to be really clear here. If you recognize yourself in this, it doesn't mean you're weak or broken or bad at your job. It means your job environment is asking your nervous system to operate in survival mode. Perfectionism in these settings isn't a flaw, it's an adaptation. But adaptations that help you cope short-term can harm you long-term if nothing changes. One helpful place to start is noticing this question. Am I trying to do my best, or am I trying to prevent something bad from happening? When fear is driving your behavior, rest alone will not fix burnout. What helps is reducing the threat or the fear or how you're perceiving this threat. And you've got to do that through setting boundaries, through asking for support or receiving support, psychological safety, and more realistic expectations at work. Don't allow a broken system to make you feel that you are not good enough or that you're broken. It's not you, and it's not worth your mental health.